gamer, we can't stand lag. We made it our mission.
What's the pettiest reason you won't date someone over? Story 1. I broke up with a girl because she spelled a word so incorrectly that I couldn't look at her the same any longer, and it ruined how I felt about her. We were texting each other during the day about the plans we had to go out for the night, and it went something like this. Me: "Hey, are we still on for tonight?" Her: "Yes, I'm excited. Do you need me to bring anything?" Me: "No, I have everything we'll need. Don't worry about it." Her: "Okay, cool. I've already picked out my outfit." Me: "Your what?" Her: "My outfit. For tonight. I tried to pick something you'd like." She was trying to say outfit. 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 I know it's petty, but I just honestly got so weirded out, and it sincerely changed my opinion and view of her enough to the point where I just couldn't stop thinking about it whenever we were together. We were only together for about 3 months, which isn't any less douchey of me, but yeah. I did the same with a guy who texted "we minus well" instead of "might as well." It wasn't the only reason I broke it off, but her spelling was so bad. The down low equals the download. It's supposed. It's opposed. Whether or not. I couldn't do that badly if I tried. Once briefly saw a guy who was horrible at spelling. Landed on spell check, but I don't think that was the case. Anyway, the one word that bothered me the most was notice. He would spell it notice. It drove me nuts. Alright, that's fine. You're allowed to break things off for whatever reason you want. Honestly, I'm pretty sure someone dodged a bullet here. Not sure it was the people writing this. Story 2. There was one who told me that I was cutting green peppers the wrong way. I was doing it the way Gordon Ramsay does it, but with fewer steps. He cuts the entire top off, then the entire bottom, while I cut a side off, then another side, so it trims closer to the stem while keeping the core intact. So you don't have to pick seeds out of it. What you didn't like was the fact that I cut long strips from the sides, then rotated them and diced them. I was making my own recipe that requires pieces of a specific size. I let her cut a pepper just to see what she thought was right, and she more or less butchered the entire thing. We went our separate ways a week later. This one is actually hilarious to me. Of all the petty things to choose from, you both went with, "This mother can't cut a effing bell pepper." It's like next level pettiness from both of you. But for a real laugh, glad you got rid of her. She obviously couldn't cut it. She also didn't think dinosaurs ever existed. I cut my peppers your way, less wasteful. Story 3. He once came with his eyes open and jaws. It really freaked me out. I could never get the picture out of his face out of my mind after that. I'll use that for next time. It's so damn funny, though it's... yeah, I can't imagine not being able to get that out of my head during the do. Oh god, I hear ya. Had an ex who I really liked, but her face when she came made me so uncomfortable. Her face always got so red, her neck bulged, mouth open. I've seen people die in movies with the exact same face. The worst part was, she absolutely insisted on unflinching eye contact whenever she came. And she would grab my head if her hands were free and hold my face in front of hers. Witness me! Now I'm uncomfortable. Just her from behind. Oh, that sounds awful. What is her number? Hey, at least it beats that stupid Ahigao face that's become popular. I would gladly take that woman's unflinching, intense Dragon Ball Z charging up gasm before seeing that stupidly fake tongue hanging out of the mouth nonsense. Go ahead, cry in the comments. Show the rest of us who you are. I'm messing around. Like what you like, no need to judge harshly. Story 4. I broke up with a guy because he ate all of my corn dogs. I was working a 12-hour shift. He refused to get a job, and all through my shift, I was just excited that I could go home and eat a corn dog. That mother effer and his friends ate all 24 corn dogs within the 12 hours while I was working. They'd previously done this with my DiGiorno's and lunch meat. But this was on another level. Don't mess with my corn dogs. Over corn dogs? I would have broken it off over not getting a job. I was young with self-esteem issues. Looking back, I should have left him long before the corn dogs. No regrets though, my mom still refers to it as the corn dog incident, lol. You didn't break up with him because of corn dogs, you broke up with him because he was a worthless moocher who invited his friends on the free from Tigrovna train. Story 5. Overly active on social media. I was in a hotel with my ex and we were brunching, and the brunch was very expensive, but it was all you can eat. As we finished, she stood up and got the most delicious food from the buffet again, even a French toast specially cooked for her with chocolate on it. Then she got coffee and orange juice, a few chopped fruits, and took a photo of it to post on Snapchat and Instagram. Then she stood up and said she was ready to go. I couldn't believe it. What did you say to her? Guessing you are an Instagram husband. That eye twitch. I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't feel like that one is that petty. Something like that really speaks about a person's priorities and tastefulness. Like, I would encourage talking to her and trying to understand and all first, and not basing breaking up just on that, but that would be a big red flag for me. Story 6. Went on a date to Buffalo Wild Wings. She ordered 20 wings. She ate maybe 7 of them. Came time to pay, she didn't offer. I was gladly going to pay, nor did she want a doggy bag. Seeing all of that food go to waste was the deal breaker. It might seem petty to most people, but I think it says a lot about a person who is so blatantly wasteful. Spoiled and selfish, in my honest opinion. Agreed, it wouldn't have bothered me if she said anything about it, but when I asked if she wanted a box, her exact response was, nah. Story 7. She would constantly try to finish my sentences for me. Sometimes not even sentences, but words. For example, me. So I was eating a BLT which it was infuriating. We finish each other's sandwiches. We even finish each other's sentences. Sometimes it doesn't happen. It actually never happens. See, we're so in sync. It's like I'm in your head. Story 8. This girl was beautiful, driven, intelligent. We got along well. She was perfect, except that she would snap her fingers whenever someone would say something she liked. Every conversation peppered with snaps. She'd do it instead of applauding at concerts, too. Eventually, I realized that this couldn't be my life. Reddit writes Seinfeld. The whole thread, really. I was like, that's not that bad, until the snaps instead of applause. Yeah, that noise. Why are people so against snaps? They all hate beatniks? I love snapping. Also, clapping can be hard for certain people with auditory sensitivity, and I believe some folks on the autism spectrum, so it can just be more respectful of others. I'm not saying clapping is bad, or people who clap should feel bad, but why judge someone who snaps? Story 9. I once started texting a guy from Tinder who seemed okay at first. He was quite good looking, he definitely took care of himself. Every time he'd pop up on text to say hi, he'd send a selfie of himself along with it. At first I replied, oh, haha, did you mean to send that? And he said, yes, like what you see? So I kind of uncomfortably said, yeah, he's good looking. Then it happened like 2 or 3 times again, so I just stopped texting him. Is his name Gaston? No one posts selfies like Gaston. 'Cause she texted like this. I hated when this was a thing. I also used to know a girl who texted like this, and it really made me so angry, though it's nowhere near as bad as yours. This actually used to be a thing 15 plus years ago. Particularly popular with Asian girls, though some guys type this too on chat programs and AOL AIM. I think they thought it was cute. Story 11. The girl has large gums. Honestly, it's the most unattractive feature to me, and I just can't look past it. Full tooth-to-gum ratio can't be done. I'm sadly one of those, and you're not the only one who hates it. I've spent years only half smiling. He still laughs and smiles without restraint, and it just makes everything brighter. Please do not be too conscious about it. I think features that people think are flaws only become that when they think too much about it. Smile and be bright. Yeah, to this last comment, folks, confidence and happiness are one of the biggest influences over attractiveness. Also, just because some complete dorks don't like how you look doesn't mean it. Someone out there will love how you look, and frankly, goobers who don't are just saving you time because dating them would have sucked. Story 12. She had bad breath. I dated a girl for a while whose breath always seemed a little off. I told her about it, and she had been oblivious to it the whole time. After her initial reaction of being mortified, she went and saw a specialist. Turns out she had a few nasal polyps that could have turned really nasty. You never know. A good example of why it's important to break the taboo of not telling people about uncomfortable physical problems they might not be aware of. Story 13. The neck hole on his shirt is too wide. Just curious, how wide is too wide? Wizard sleeve width. Honestly, this is probably the most petty thing in this book. Majority of these comments are semi-valid, but this? What the heck? Can I get some reasoning or a story? LOL. I imagine it's thinking about the long-term plan. If his head is that big, what would it be like giving birth to children? 14. I know a girl who won't date a person if they're born during a certain month. Something to do with scorpions. Aquarians. Oh god, not the astrologists. Not the astrologists! Ah! I would never date an astrologist. I dated a girl like this. She used to say, oh, typical insert star sign to me. Then she told me mine was a library, but I didn't listen much. I had no problem with someone even when I absolutely do not. Not even a little. However, I can see how it can be a hurdle in a relationship. I met someone with beliefs adjacent to that, and it was tough. Beliefs not lining up can be a problem, so I get it. Story 15, littering. When I was like 19, I was driving around with my boyfriend at the time, and we had a snack in the car, and afterwards, not really thinking about it, I unrolled the window and threw out the wrapper. He got so mad. He's one of those tones that your mom gets when she is angry but doesn't want to yell and starts chastising me about littering. Pretty embarrassing. Never threw my trash out like that again. Sometimes it really does take someone to call you out on your for there to be a change. Littering and... Story 16. Had a friend try and date this girl. He said he was going to Canada for a wedding. Her response? I wouldn't want to go because I'd have to learn Chinese. He said that he blankly stared at her and finished his meal. Huh. A girl I took on a coffee date told me that Peru isn't a real country. I was telling her how I had just gotten back from a trip with some friends there. Peru isn't a country, it's not real, I would know. I laughed a little bit, cried on the inside, said I have to leave, and walked away. Was the wedding in the Vancouver area? Story 17. We'll probably die in all these comments, but in middle school I broke up with a girl because she erased my Pokemon save file. I'm 28 and still see that as a legit reason you don't with save files, especially when there's an old event Pokemon on them. That's a perfectly valid reason. I punched my sister because she hacked our copy of Pokemon Gold with all the legendaries or something, but it ended up breaking it to where it wouldn't save. Story 18. I'm not thrilled with people who are video game purists / shun casual gamers, me. I don't mind if you're really into video games or play them more often or more seriously than I do, but it's just obnoxious when they brag about it and treat me as though I'm lesser because I prefer some like Mario over Dark Souls. If you haven't unlocked the character in Mario Kart 7, it's not worth your time. I really don't see how this is a thing with people. I play Elden Rings and I want to be the guy, but my friends who mostly just like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley are gamers too. If you feel that gamer is some sacred title only for the worthy, what even are your priorities in life? Story 19. I went on a couple of dates with a guy who was so afraid of fish touching his legs that he refused to get into any water other than a chlorinated pool. Probably not a deal breaker for most people, but I'm an aquatic ecologist, and my job at the time, right out of college, was to organize stream cleanup events. I couldn't see myself dating someone who was afraid of fish. I have an irrational fear of fish. They fascinate me, and I love looking at them. They put me in water, and I flip out. Funnily enough, it doesn't apply to sharks. Goldfish, terrifying. Sharks, Story 20. She got into an argument with my brother, who was about to graduate to become a computer engineer, about how the desktop is only the monitor, and that the tower wasn't part of the desktop at all. She would also say that the laptop had a foldable desktop. Oh, Christ.
Should be okay now.
Anyway. Wow. Also, to extend on this, I tend to generally dislike people that try to argue on a subject they know next to nothing about. Story 21. She smelled. Not terrible, but there was a distinct smell when you were close to her. I couldn't stand it after 2 weeks. Bye-bye. I had a boyfriend in high school like this. It smelled vaguely of broccoli or onions or something. I could never quite put my finger on it. My best friend dated him not long after I broke up with him, and she confirmed the odd smell. I actually worked at the grocery and I really struggled with the smell. I can't smell it myself, but people say I smell like a microwaved fart.
Oh, it hurts!
Oh, I'm so sorry. That sucks, but that's a funny description. Please like and subscribe if you've made it this far. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the video and have a wonderful day. Story 22. Today I learned I am unfaithful. Today. Yikes, we've known for a while. Broke up with a girl after a week because she constantly talked about being British and sang every other sentence in a British accent. She was born in Kentucky. Is a real thing, or did you just make that up? Because I like it. I'm gonna add that word to my vocabulary. Oh, I don't consider this petty. That is annoying as hell. Story 23. She idolizes the Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship. I watched Suicide Squad, and now I know all about Harley and Joker. Such romance. They literally cut out a scene of him smacking her because they thought it would be too much. I wish they'd kept it in for this reason. They are the villains for a reason. The teacher and some of my female students. Supernatural romances have romanticized abuse for too long. Story 24. He tucked his sweater into his jeans. Well, that's reasonable. Most people don't want to date a serial killer. There comes a time in life when a man must decide, am I a tucker or not? He must decide for himself. But me, I chose not to. Untucks jumper from jeans. Gross. Some shirts can be tucked, and some shirts cannot. Sweaters should never be tucked. They are not tuckable. Untuck that big warm boy. Story 25. If they can't handle their liquor, yet continue to drink anyway. I hate the idea of being with someone after a drink or two. They turn into a goram child. I definitely went on a date once where I drank too much and I just sat motionlessly in the corner while my date played beer pong, and he came and asked me if I was okay, and I just said, just trying not to move. Well, that might be a bad date etiquette. You do sound like someone I'd hang out with. Story 26. Long fingernails on a guy. I just can't handle it. The idea of letting someone touch me with those things makes me gag. Same. Had a guy accidentally scrape the sharp edge of his nail against my clit once, and I now refuse to let any guy with nail overhang touch me. Horrible. My clit literally bled for like 10 minutes, and it hurt to walk for over a week. I almost went to the hospital.